Welcome back. You're watching France 24, and it's time now for Media Watch, our roundup of the top stories in the media today. Nicholas Rushworth has the lowdown. Good evening.
Hi, Lana.
You start out with Greece today.
Well, of course, events there have taken a turn for the worse with the suicide of a 77-year retired old man.
Very shocking event for many Greeks.
And I suppose the question on people's minds is this a kind of turning point because in a way, a lot of the crisis, this financial crisis has been a bit of financial crisis fatigue. Obviously, in Greece, people are extremely angry about events, but is it going to be a focalizing element? Now, this is obviously being covered in Twitter. Here's an example of one I saw today, Yanis Koutsomitis. He's saying the suicide of a 77-year-old man this morning in Syntagma Square is a shock for Greece. And the quote is, "It's the only way for a dignified end. I can't eat from garbage." If I go quickly to another Twitter here, we can see that we can see one from the Occupy movement and Occupy Sydney in this case. Take the Square, 77-year-old man suicides in Syntagma Square. And of course, I noticed when I was looking through the different tweets that all the Occupy movement centres around the world, London, New York, are all tweeting about this. So
sorry, indeed, some of them have called for new protests in Greece.
Well, it's developing a momentum. So again, we get back to the question, is this actually a focal point? Is this going to become a part of a momentum for, not insurgency, but we remember the events in Tunisia, of course, which sparked a whole wave of discontent.
The Athens News has also been reporting about this.
Well, one of the elements that is come out is actually the actual message in his suicide note, which is very specific. And the Athens News is taking that up as the story on its front page. And it has a quote there. I can just read it out for you. That, well, I believe that young people with no future will one day take up arms and hang the traitors of this country at Syntagma Square. That was where he was killed himself, just like the Italians did to Mussolini in 1945. So lots of elements about European history taking shape, if you like. Another thing that I noticed, we're looking online today with these social media sites, Twitter notably again, a lot of the tweets were in Spanish by people in Spain, because of course we've talked for maybe 2 years now, a domino effect, and the southern Mediterranean, the southern European countries are in big trouble. So Spain, of course, looking at events in Greece, I can just show you
very carefully, because Spain has been dealing with its own crisis.
Yeah, I can just show you a tweet here. If you type in Dimitris Christoulos, the name of the 77-year-old retired pharmacist, you get a lot of tweets in Spanish. And look at that, you can see if I scroll down that suicide note in Spanish there.
More than 140 characters, but of course, it sparked a real outpouring of emotion, and one can understand why Spaniards are looking at the story particularly closely. Moving on, here in France, Carla Bruni-Sarkozy, the country's first lady, at least the current first lady, we've got a new presidential election coming up soon, created buzz today with an interview she gave.
Well, this is the buzz here in France, and I was talking about it earlier. And of course, Carla Bruni-Sarkozy, on the day of her husband producing the detailed program for his manifesto 2012, has got a headline in Le Nouvel Obs, "À côté de Madame Pompidou, je suis Lady Gaga." And of course, I am Lady Gaga. Is that back to the bling bling or what? Because is that the kind of headline Sarkozy wants? Not necessarily.
You're right, not necessarily.
One of the things she attacks in that article is the Paris elite, the gauche caviar, but also she attacks the media, and she's saying things like, well, she finds the media as a whole disconcerting, and basically she's saying that she has not been, there's just been lies and misrepresentations about her since she married him in 2008.
It's interesting coming from a woman who's got a long career that has very much to do in the media, a model and then a singer, and then she's been in the media a lot.
She has, and so they're a media couple, and so will this now perhaps turn against Sarkozy? We'll see. There are obviously different elements to the image of the First Lady and Nicolas Sarkozy.
All right, Nicholas Rushworth, thanks very much for that. That was Media Watch on France 24. And thank you at home for watching. Do stay tuned. More news is coming up in a couple minutes.